In storytelling, color has an integral role to play when conveying to the audience the themes and ideas of each individual scene and character. The dingoer SMP is no exception to this rule. After watching this video that describes each color in depth in relation to the dream SMP, I reflect on how color was used in the dingoer SMP, both intentional and accidental, and I found that a surprising amount of color symbolism is present in the storytelling of the dingoer SMP. So without further ado, it's time to find out how color symbolism is used on the dingoer SMP. Firstly, the main colors that we'll be analyzing today are blue, red, green, purple, and white. There are other common colors like black and grey that appear often, however they are not integral to the story and don't give much insight into the character and most often represent an absence of allegiance or ideas. Secondly, in order to establish the colors, we'll be analyzing how they convey the character they're present around, meaning we'll be basing the color alignment using the Dungeons & Dragons alignment chart to make clear distinctions between the colors and their meaning. And finally, this is of course all in the fiction and takes place within the dingoer SMP. The first color we're looking at is blue, a common color in the landscape, however not so in the story, commonly representing morality, or at least the appearance of morality, with questionable motives. Technically not doing anything wrong, however not having the best motivation inside. This color is synonymous with Mr. Goer, as it represents a lack of good intentions, including attempting to scam people of the dingoer SMP by providing a business that can outright refuse to do what people pay it to do, harassing people into joining the insurance company, threatening to kill people when they do the company wrong, and blowing up the server to make it seem like they could do their job, all while appearing as a trustable business that has their clients' best interests at heart.
Violet, I know you're in VC. Would you be down to join our insurance firm? Oh.
No.
What's in it for me? Free shit.
No.
Basically.
Safety. We just want her as a client right now. With most appearances of the color centering around Mr. Goer, including the first dingoer banner, his retirement outfit, the lake he chose to live by, and one of Violet's dogs, whom Mr. Goer recolored following being attacked by her on her first day. This color scores a lawful evil position on the chart. The next color is red, a violent and dangerous color that represents hatred and chaos, and in the dingoer SMP, it's the same. In the first half of the dingoer arc, it is mostly unseen in skin choices and set pieces, aside from the highlights of Alyssa's skin, represented visually through the knockback 1 million fish. Aside from her, the only appearance of red is seen in the landscape of the mesa, illustrating the groundwork of the chaotic future that awaits the server. This is further solidified by the formal declaration of hatred between Mr. Goer and Violet one day before the press conference. It wasn't until the second half of the arc does red begin to emerge more commonly, visible in the bloodstains on both the tattered dingoer shirt and the white t-shirt, the second dingoer banner, and Mr. Goer, Josh's, and Glugali's skin. It was while these skins were in use the server went through its hardest times, with Mr. Goer killing most of the server, the assassination of Glugali, and the exile of Mr. Goer. This color is most connected to the second dingoer and Mr. Goer himself. The transition between the full business suit to tattered business suit to bloody white t-shirt illustrates the transition of Mr. Goer from CEO to exiled and draws a connection between the color and the company. This color scores chaotic evil on the chart. Third is purple, a mixture between blue and red, and, ironically, represents the conflict between the two qualities of the colors, either morally or actions-wise. Most represented by Bad at Gamesry and, as her name insinuates, Violet. The color ties in nicely with dingoer morals as well, as Josh served as the moral compass of the company, visible in their skin. Purple, a conflict between the moral and immoral practices of dingoer. In most altercations, Josh opts to take the middle ground and avoid fighting while still choosing to not stop Mr. Goer in his quest for money and power. As well as this, the disparity between good and bad is also prevalent in Violet's character as well, acting against the tyrannical dingoer for the freedom of the people, however still choosing to seek out fights and live by the sword instead of by voice. This mixture of good and evil is further shown through the hostile takeover during Mr. Goer's press conference, and in killing Steve to further demoralize Mr. Goer. This color becomes synonymous with Violet as she maintains the same skin throughout the entire story arc, illustrating her headstrong ideas and determination for what she wants. In conclusion, purple represents either doing the right thing in the wrong way, or doing the wrong thing in the right way. This color earns the chaotic neutral position on the chart. Fourth is green, another widely visible color and in a lot of skins. Green represents neutrality and nature, visible in both skins and landscape. Most notably, green is the most visible color on the skins of the dingoer SMP, featuring in Snail S, Picky T, Gloogly, and S for Sager skins. Unlike purple, which represents a conflict between good and bad, green represents the absence of allegiances and the willingness to live in solitude, visible through Snail and Picky leaving to live alone in the mesa and later Gloogly, as well as S for Sage, who decides to dig into the mountains to build his base. His first base was specifically designed so that people could not see his name tag from the lake, in order for him to stay hidden in the event of conflict. Similar traits are also visible in other green represented characters, like how Picky and Snail move furthest away to build their house on a mesa plateau. The same with Gloogly. This one, yes, this one.
The Mesa Hill is our hill.
And it wasn't until Gloogly was killed where his skin changes to red, indicating a switch from neutrality to resentment against dingoer. The red in his skin showing that he's still technically employed under dingoer, however is protesting the company and his actions, acting condescending and belittling what the color means. Green is also present in nature, showing the environment of neutrality that surrounds the occupants of the server. However, most people without green present in their character choose to live underground, below the green, away from the possibility of peace and neutrality, while those who represent green often choose to live above ground where nature is appreciable. It is also observed that Mr. Goa voluntarily chose to destroy the natural world generation by building a path that attempts to remove people from the neutral ground and covering parts of the mesa with cobblestone, originally because he was bored, but later because he feels on conflict and neutrality is not what he wants. Neutrality is most seen in Snail S, representing green in court, being the impartial judge and not fighting in any fight, but instead choosing to do whatever this is. Green is placed on the true neutral spot of the chart. And finally is white. White is the most rare color in the server, with only appearing in select few moments throughout the story, particularly in relation to dingoer. White represents dingoer, or what it was supposed to be. The company was initially portrayed as a simple insurance company at people's first impressions, the impressions that the white walls give. However, there was always something sinister about it, the way it operated, the way the employees spoke, and always tried to not let you read the full terms and conditions. It's 16 pages of pure writing. Do you really want to read all of that?
Yeah, I'm just gonna... Do I sign it?
And the walls reflected that, sporting a dark, sprucey, castle-like trim, featuring black stone that made it look ancient. The two employees' skins feature white as well, at first appearing like a simple partnership hoping to get some money, revealed itself to be a con technique and doomed to fail. The skins reflected that. Mr. Goa and Josh both sported white business shirts, showing their allegiance to the company. However, following the press conference, the two parted ways. Josh returns to their regular blue hoodie, while Mr. Goa was exiled, with a bloody and torn shirt, revealing the true foundation of the company, torn and doomed to fail. The blood and dirt, as well as the stains on the shirt, represents the company and makes it unclean, revealing the dirty tactics Mr. Goa and Josh used. The outcome of each employee also determined the skin. By joining Violet, the morally correct character, you return to your normal life completely devoid of the company. While you choose to stay with the bloody and dirty company, you yourself become bloody and dirty. Once Mr. Goa returns to his home and changes his clothes, he still chooses to wear white, hoping to convince himself that the company was founded on good ideals. The t-shirt instead of the button-up represents the loss of professionalism and grandeur, and Mr. Goa retreats to live in a cave, still dirty and bloody. It isn't until Mr. Goa accepts that the company is evil, and by association he is evil, that he loses the white and succumbs to the chaotic red, donning the red trench coat. White earns the neutral evil spot on the chart. And that is color in the dingoer SMP. Thank you all for watching this video. It is the first video I've written with a script and happens to be 1700 words, which is longer than my essays. It was different from my normal videos, but I've had this idea for a while, and I decided that everything lined up perfectly for me to make this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.